All right. Have you wanted to learn how to get your self-published books on other sites like Etsy or your own website? Well, then this is a show for you. Hey, everybody. This is Ashley with Publish with Ashley. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, join my Facebook group, all those good things. But let's get right into the heart of the matter today. I had a lot of people who are really interested in learning about how to publish their books on places other than just, or sell their books really other than places than just Amazon. Now, one of the ways to do this, we're going to kind of go through different print-on-demand sites that could be useful to you. I'm going to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of each and give you some ideas. But basically, the idea is that you would sell it either on your own website. Some of these have links to Shopify. And so through a Shopify store, you can actually directly connect, and the print-on-demand company a customer would come to your website, purchase the item off your website, and then buy it. With Etsy, it's very similar in the sense that they would come to Etsy, purchase it. The only difference is you would have to put in the order with the print-on-demand site and then send that to your customer. So that there's a little bit more effort in the Etsy sites, but it's not really hard. It's something that you can do pretty easily. If you got a lot of orders, that's a good problem to have. But if you're just getting a few orders, it's really an easy Etsy store to maintain. So I wanted to talk about a few of those different print-on-demand sites here. I'm going to share my screen and tell you a little bit about each. So the first is Lulu Express. So the advantage is, I think, when I went through kind of you'll have to look through and see pricing and various things like that. Lulu had the lowest cost, it appears. But the problem is, or not really problem, but just something to note is it has a much slower shipping time. So this might be a great one if you want to purchase, 10 or 15 or something of them and have them in stock. You don't have to purchase a ton, but purchase a few ahead of time and then ship them out via media mail. Since it is a book, you can use in the US, you can use media mail and ship them to your individual Etsy customers. So you could do that, and that would make the shipping time much faster. But as far as maybe doing the print on demand from your website, Lulu Express does connect with Shopify. So, and I've heard, it's a little bit slower. So that is to note. Maybe, if anything, they might improve or get better, but the shipping time is a little slow. But they do connect to Shopify, so you could use it through your own website. Or in Etsy, I would probably, you could have the slower shipping times on your products, but that may be a detriment to people who are purchasing on Etsy. So you might want to try and purchase a few, and then you could ship them out yourself fairly quickly. So that is an option, but it did have what I kind of looked at and saw the lowest prices. Now, options of printing styles, that is something that they have above KDP. And a few of these sites you can look through and see what they have. All the links are in my show notes, so you can check out Lulu Express, and I have you directly go to like the pricing calculator, because I know that's a big concern. So they have different types of books, like the paper-bound books you're thinking of from Amazon. They have calendars, comic books, magazines. Their books, they also have, let me scroll down. You can see they have different types of bindings. You can have perfect bound, which is what you're considering on KDP. You can have spiral notebooks, which I know is a real big plus for a lot of people. Case wrap, linen wrap, and saddle stitch. So there's different types of binding options, and you can look through. There's also different kinds of paper options. So if you're looking to do a really high quality book and selling like a high quality book on Etsy, that might be an option. So I will give that. I was going for selling on my own site, but I never thought about selling on Etsy. That's actually the nice thing about Etsy is they do have a customer base. So what you could do is start using Etsy as a proof of concept, right? Kind of use their customer base to decide what works well, what doesn't work well, see what's in demand and what's not, and then build your customer base, offer them some free product for their email address, that sort of thing. And then you can start. You just have to follow the rules of Etsy, which is you can't really advertise in your product. But if you send them a product, you could definitely put in something saying, hey, here's my website, purchase from us, or here's a free gift if you sign up for my email list. That is perfectly acceptable. So there is an ability to kind of test the waters for very cheaply through Etsy. So that's something to note. Said you tried Lulu, but not happy with the quality. So yeah, so that's another thing. I've heard mixed things. So that's why I was mentioning it. It did, like I said, it is the cheapest one of those that are out there. Now here, Snowfall Press, I've heard has pretty good quality and pretty good shipping rates. I think they kind of looked like they were about second in price compared to Lulu Express. You'll have to, with shipping and all that, it's going to be different to shipping to different places, but they do not connect to a website that I could find. So theirs is more of a selling on Etsy. So you'd have to purchase an author copy and ship to your customer. So the Etsy order would come in, you'd go on the site, you purchase it, you'd pay for it and send the actual product to your customer on Etsy. But they do have perfect and coil bounding. So that's something to note. And they had decently priced, and I've heard good things. So you could definitely order something, a test product to see what's well. The other one is Blurb, and I've heard they have really high quality. They are a little more expensive. They do ship fairly quickly. And they have a decent amount of options. You can see photo books, trade books, magazines, ebooks, wall art. And you can see they have, for the standard printing, they have black and white, they have color, and they have various choices. They do look like they're a little bit more expensive. They also, do they have spiral? Let's see. I don't see spiral on this one, on Blurb, but I've heard they have very good quality, but they are a little bit more expensive. So that's something to note. Let's see. The next one, the book patch. This was recommended by a few places. They have pretty good quality. So if anyone has any comments, let me know, because I haven't actually purchased these. I just went and did a bunch of read reviews and things like that for them. They had pretty good quality. I would say medium on the price range when I was looking through. It looks like they ship fairly quickly, and I've heard good things. They do. I don't know if they actually connect to a Shopify store. I forgot to check that one on them, because this is one I just found before I set up this last night. So you'd have to check on that. But if you're going to do through Etsy, this is definitely, they do one-off printing. I want to say the book patch might have actually talked about Shopify. So let's go and see. It says print on demand, which is where you get it for your customer on Etsy, pay for it and send it to them. And next Shopify. Okay, upload interior, like it says. So that's something to research, just a note. All right, so Printify, I know they do connect to Etsy. They do have, I don't know if it's really cheaper prices. It does have fairly quick shipping, but it's limited. The only thing you can really do on these is lined and blank pages. You can look through, but you can do print. It just prints on the front cover. So this gives you less options, but I wanted to show you that it's not unprofitable. So another one, I was just going through, if you're going to be doing something on Etsy, you've got to do something interesting, unique, specific, specified. So this one was little notes for the big day. I think I did personalized wedding notebooks or journals or something is what I put. And so you can see this is selling for $20. This has a lot of these things and they're a pretty good seller. They have quite a few sales. So there is a demand if you're this is, I think, very similar to what's on Printify. And Printify, I know, does connect to Shopify, and I think they have a connection to Etsy as well. Specific notifications for t-shirts and mugs and things like that. So I would assume they have some for Etsy as well. And so you just have to be a little bit more creative when you're trying to create these and create something that is 4, I would consider like a memorable moment or a moment in time, something emotionally significant to someone, because if they're going to spend $20 for a notebook, it has to have some personalization or emotional attachment. So you've got to kind of think in those lines, and you've got to understand your Etsy customer. Your Etsy customer is willing to pay a little bit more for something a little bit more personal, a bit more specialized, something for that perfect day, right? I went through and read some of these, and they were talking about, they were really excited about using this little notebook for wedding planning. And it was a great gift for her new daughter-in-law, or about to be daughter-in-law, right? So, you've got to kind of play on those sorts of sentiments and find the right subjects for these types of things. If you're going to sell basically a spiral notebook for $20. All right, so that's what I have for these different types. Like I said, you can look through Printify. They had a few other different kinds of spiral notebooks. This is the one I found that you could print on the front page and look like it had quick shipping times. There was ones that if you wanted to purchase like in bulk and then sell on Etsy or your website or something like that, they were definitely cheaper, and you had various options. Let's see, let's run through them again. Lulu Express, like I said, I think it's probably the cheapest, but it has slow shipping times. And yeah, someone said they weren't happy with the quality. And I heard good things about Snowfall Press, decent shipping times, decent pricing, and good quality. And then Blurb was definitely on the higher end, a little bit higher quality. They did make it seem like it was a really easy upload, similar to KDP. And then it's very walk you through it, easy to upload. And the book patch was similar in that it sounded like decent quality, decent service, a little bit not high, probably mid-range on the cost. And then Shopify Printify, has some other integrations that might be useful depending on what you were trying to accomplish. Okay, so let me look at questions. Can you show how to do Pinterest to market your books? Do you do affiliate links to Pinterest? Or are you linking to your blog? Okay, so affiliate links for Amazon, you have to do, on your blog or your website. You cannot do those through Pinterest. There are other places you can use affiliate links on Pinterest, but KDP, Amazon's not one of them. That's just a no. Just avoid using an Amazon affiliate link on Pinterest. It's a no. It has to be on a blog, web page, something you own as far as like a domain real estate, right? That's where it has to be. So you could, link a Pinterest site to like the product that goes to Amazon, and that link, like on your website or blog or whatever like that, could go and be an affiliate link. That is perfectly acceptable. But yes, I can talk a little bit more about Pinterest and marketing on Pinterest. I've been trying to systematize my Pinterest uploading and creating a bunch of templates in Canva. So it's a work in progress, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, there's a lot of like quirks about Pinterest, and a lot of it is about consistency. Let's see. Good morning. Happy fulfilling new year to you. Thank you. And thanks so much says thank you so much for all the insightful and inspirational content. Well, good. I'm happy to help. But I will write Pinterest down. I know a lot of people, I had a whole list of things that people gave me, and Pinterest was one of them, but let me write that down just so I can make sure. But how do you use Pinterest to market your books? Okay. Is there any other questions on this? Here, let me pull this down. But I know people are really interested in how to sell, or what can you sell and how can you sell your books on either Etsy or your own websites. So these are some options. If you're doing to your own website, there's actually a few more options, but I wanted to give ones that I thought you could do through Etsy as well. What if it's a non-affiliate link? Can you still link to Amazon link on Pinterest? Yes. If it is not an affiliate link, you can link direct. That's actually what I do. I link directly to Amazon for my Pinterest marketing, but it is not an affiliate link. So you kind of lose out on some money on that. But as a Pinterest user, I am an avid Pinterest user. I kind of dislike when I have to go through links to links to links to find the thing I want. So if I wanted to purchase that book, if I had to go through 2 links, I may or may not do it. Now, if that link took me to another web page that was like the product was right in front of me, then I might click another link to get there. But if I had to search on a web page to find it, that is absolutely annoying to me. And I can't be the only Pinterest user to think that. So there is that balance of, do you, try and make your customer happy, or you try and make a little bit extra money. I'm on the, since I don't like that, I'm on the try and get the customer directly to the product to purchase it with the minimal amount of, sites in between. So that's just my viewpoint, because that's the kind of customer I am. So that's why I work for that. Let's see. What if it's not an affiliate? Oh, no. I use the same mock-up photos for A+ content for PIS. You can definitely do that. Reuse some of it, but remember, your Pinterest pins are going to be long and skinny, and your A+ is going to be flat and short, I guess. So some of the mock-ups probably could be similar, but if you're going to optimize your Pinterest use, you're going to want to go for those long and skinny. And I can see how you can maybe reuse some of it, but you could just create a bunch of templates and then just drop your book in each. If you use frames on Canva, it's really easy to pull out another book and just drop in a new book. So you just have to I think it's like disconnect picture to the frame, and then you just drop in the new picture. And it makes it pretty easy to be able to do that. I can show you guys how to do that and show you how to make pins and then make template pins and then pull them out. But I definitely use different different templates for my A+ content than I do Pinterest, only because of the dimension difference. Any other questions or thoughts? If not, that's all I had for today. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that you had some options other than KDP, that you could publish your books in various other places. You can actually, if you guys wanted to know some of the other places you can publish books, low content books are harder on other sites. Amazon's probably the biggest open arm place for low content books. But if you have Medium, like workbooks, coloring books, definitely high content books, there is a lot of other options. Draft to digital is one of my favorites. It gives you a lot of different options. But there's a lot of different options out there if that's something you guys are interested in learning about for higher content books. It's not something you can do for journals and things like that. Your best bet for journals are probably your own website, Etsy, or KDP. But if you're trying to get away from KDP, or you want to even expand your options, Etsy is probably a good place to start and build an audience. And then you can move to your own web, Shopify or web page. It's just hard to get traffic, but if you're willing to put in the money, time to get your own traffic to your own website, then that is definitely a possibility. Okay, some people think A+ content in Photoshop. Yeah, it's probably maybe more. It's easier to maybe manipulate the photos in Photoshop versus Canva. I just use Canva because it's easy, honestly. I can make it in all sorts of things, but Canva does make it easy to do that sort of thing. Any other questions? If not, that's all I have for today, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. I will see you next week live. I think I will do something about Pinterest because there's been a lot of interest in marketing and Pinterest marketing, so I think I will talk about that next week. Is there anyone who print actual sticker books? I have not looked for that. Well, that's not true. I looked for it a while ago, and there are places that do sticker books, but it's not that I have found. And the print on demand is always expanding. I've not found a print on demand place. I've found places you can have those printed, but you have to have a decent amount printed and purchase them and sell. So that is definitely possible if you want to do that. But otherwise, yeah, it's really print on demand. I have not seen that quite yet, or at least in a economical fashion. I'm sure there's some places that you can do that sort of thing, and it's super expensive print on demand. But I've not seen anything recently. So I can look at and see if that's something, but I think a Google search is probably the best way to start on something like that. All right. If that's it, I'm going to go, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.